You're watching Hellbent Holler live. Hello and welcome to Hellbent Holler live. My name is Jesse. This is Joe, and we are celebrating a very important milestone tonight. So we are so glad to have you guys here. This is our weekly show. We do every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Hellbent Holler YouTube channel. We are celebrating 25,000 subscribers. This has been a very, very long road to get here. And I think this is just the beginning. We've been working very hard to get to this point. A lot of people respond with, I can't believe you guys don't have 100,000 subscribers. Well, you can help us get there. Make sure that you are liking, sharing anything that we do. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your dog, tell everybody about Hellbent Holler and help us grow this channel.
There's probably 200 people out there right now just going, dog, let me tell you about Hellbent Holler.
Today's the day we're communicating with the dog.
I think that's pretty good considering we don't do the usual, like when you watch our videos, there's not a lot of like the little things that come up going like and subscribe because it takes you out of the moment and the whole thing is to share the experience of what we're experiencing and take you guys along for the ride. So we don't do a lot of the usual YouTube stuff. You know, Jesse doesn't parade me around like a piece of meat trying to like, well, I capitalize on my rugged good looks to like, yeah.
I sort of do. But yeah, that was one thing we were talking, Joe and I were watching, I don't remember what we were watching, but it was obviously on YouTube, but we were watching this show on YouTube and we're really enjoying it. And all of a sudden, like, share, subscribe, all that starts popping up and it kind of takes you out of the moment. When I edit these videos for the channel, when I do these investigation videos, I want you to feel like you're actually there. I want you to feel like you're part of the action. And if we're advertising stuff constantly through it, it kind of takes you out of it. That's why we don't do sponsorships. Wow. For a little while there, I had a thing with Olight.
Because they were like, it aligned with what we do.
They were aligned with what we do.
Flashlights a lot. So,
yeah. But then I ended that because I felt like
they were wanting us to like stop in the middle of our stuff and do like a commercial. We're going, no, we'll do things showing what we use that you like and I build, but we're not going to stop in the middle. I mean, because what we're doing is real. I'm not going to stop there and go, we just heard what might be a Bigfoot. But before we go over there, we'd like to take a moment to speak to you about.
Let's talk about Tampax,
Yeah.
Although where we were recently, we probably could have done a Tampax commercial.
That's freaking bananas. We'll actually talk about that. We'll dance around it.
But
Sam Burton said that Ace resents your disrespect.
See, that dog probably has his own like YouTube account. He's like on there.
He probably is.
He's probably trolling like cat YouTube videos, you know, like leaving just mean comments all the time.
A couple of our members, Smog13, thank you so much for your membership support.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Same thing for Suji. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, like I said, we looked, I think a year ago we did a 10,000.
Yeah, my friend Mike actually messaged me as soon as I was posting on Instagram because I had just gotten a tiny bit of signal and I was able to post that photo on Instagram and try to get us over that mark. And my friend Mike messaged me and was like, it was literally this time last year you were at 10,000. So I think that's pretty good.
And Surviving the Strange, there's some stat that's saying like and subscribe one time increases subs by 25%. We can do that during these. We just can't do it we're not going to do it with like when we present the live investigations to you. If we're doing like a live stream from the field, when those rare occasions we do that, we might just go
for the public.
We're out here killing ourselves. What are you doing? Give us a like. But yeah, usually we can't. We can't do the usual. We're not YouTubers. We're people who share our stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, and you know, the further I get along in this journey of learning how to do more filmmaking, and as I get better with editing, and I'm really experimenting with a lot more elements when it comes to my videos. I know in my last video I had that intro on there that I'm super proud of. That was really, really. I was so proud of that. It took me so long to do that intro with like all the graphics and everything. I'm trying to move towards a more filmmaker direction with what I do.
Because when you get down to it, the stuff that we do is, even when really nothing happens, it's still pretty freaking epic,
it's
man.
Pretty
you know
epic,
what I'm saying? It's pretty crazy. And it's weird because sometimes we get numb to it.
Yeah.
And then I just have a moment where I just stop and I go, that's pretty much how I spend my time nowadays. Like running, I think, did you include it in the last video where I just go, another night, another sketchy forest? You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know.
I think you included that. So
yeah.
Bristol, thank you for being a member for 9 months. And while we're on the thanking people,
it's
Curtis Whitaker.
Thank you, Curtis Whitaker.
Curtis Whitaker. We appreciate that. Thank you.
You can.
But anyway, and guys, we purposely kept the title of the live stream
ambiguous,
and not ambiguous, but we didn't go. Usually our live streams where we have a specific topic set forward in the title, you know, like Dogman attacks on the rise. And we discuss that. The live streams are freaking crazy huge. We purposely did this tonight just so
10 best tiramisu recipes.
But we kept it like this just because we wanted to keep the chat to like, I mean, everybody's welcome, obviously, but pretty much we'll just have the core people tonight with a title like that. That's kind of how we wanted it tonight.
Did you put Ristles up there?
I put Ristle.
Okay.
I got Curtis Whitaker. So many people. Thank you guys so much. So many people. Everybody showing that y'all are just amazing. Right. It's the end of the month too. So it's usually, we started this, was it the end of October?
The memberships?
Yeah.
Yes. So it was when we were in.
Crystal Myers, thank you.
It was when we launched it when we were in the LBL filming Dogman territory, which is currently available on Amazon.
Damn, you're good with the promos tonight, man.
For you to rent or purchase. And remember, if you watch Dogman territory, which was produced by Small Town Monsters, directed by Seth Breedlove, starring Aaron Deese, Shannon LeGros, Joseph, and myself. Dewey Edwards is in there. Martin Groves is in there. Mike Smith. If you watch that, make sure you leave a review. Those reviews really help out and really get it in front of more people. So, yes. So we launched memberships last October.
Thank you, Chris Jackson.
It's
just going to be a show of us just sitting here thanking people all night long. That's all we're going to do.
We're going to have the Sandman bull us off stage.
Yeah.
But we were there at the end of October because we did our live on Halloween from the LBL Massacre site. And then we went to the site where we found those tents burned for our members. We did a members only live after that. So, yeah. So that was, I feel like that was not too long ago, but that was
a year ago, man.
Almost. Yeah. Yeah. We're still working on plans for Halloween for this year. I want to do something kind of spooky. I don't know if I want to do something. I don't know. We're still up in the air. We're definitely not going to the manor.
Richard Booth is watching live for the first time from the UK.
Oh, well, welcome, Richard.
We almost need to do
He's a big fan of the Big Lebowski, so
I
I hope
almost
you have
need
a
to-
White Russian.
We almost need to like do like a primetime UK live stream one time. I don't even know what that would be our time. I'm terrible at time zones.
I have a whole tin of Earl Grey tea in there that we can
Wow.
pop out for it.
Mhm.
You know.
Well, Chris Jackson, thank you for that, for the munchies as well. So you can have Earl Grey tea and Vienna sausages. So there you go. But we almost need to do a British, and then we're damn near getting close enough to do like an Australian. live stream,
We
like,
have
for them.
we have quite a few folks in Australia, which baffles me because you guys have some of the scariest stuff around you all the time.
Just
in
probably
Australia.
checking the mail. You're taking your
Yeah.
life in your hands, man. So
Maybe they're just watching us as like watching Hello Kitty or something, you know?
it's like watching Urkel or something like that, you know, a nice 90s sitcom. So
Martin Groves has a good suggestion here. Need a Hellbent Holler Jesse and Joe calendar.
we talked about doing that one time as like just like a joke, doing like a calendar, just with real cheesy, like, you know.
You know what? I
monthly-
just had the idea exactly what the calendar is going to be. All right. I have a few months to work on this. There might be a 2025 calendar because I just had the idea for it.
Mark Bridges, thank you for that. How close to the Dogman have you gotten? That couple dozen feet. If what we saw at the LBL and Thermal was a Dogman, and less than 10 feet of those things that we saw on the LBL that were gangly that ran past us, that we know of.
I don't think those, whatever
I
those
don't think
were.
they were either, but I don't know.
But whatever you got on thermal, I think that's the closest
Yeah.
thing that you could say is
Yeah.
possibly.
I'm bad at judging like distance like that. Matter of fact, we're thinking about getting our next thermal having a built-in rangefinder just because I'm bad
Yeah.
at just judging. Like,
I
distance
think
and
that
stuff
that
like
would help out a lot.
But what was that, 20 feet?
No.
Closer than that?
Probably about 30 feet.
20, 30 feet.
Yeah.
Split the difference, 25.
Very good.
So, if that's what that was, and we can't say for sure that's what it was. And then here's the deal. When we were out this past investigation, it's so thick, man. It's so thick. It's like this part of the Appalachians, it's a temperate rainforest, basically. And it's what we were in this past weekend was probably the closest to like legit jungle conditions we've ever been in.
Yeah.
The foliage, the heat and the humidity and everything like that.
The
And I told
minute-
Jesse something could be 10 feet away from us, we wouldn't know it.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is like that was one of the first times you and I've been in the woods a lot. That was one of the first times we were out in the woods and it's hot as I'll get out, and I'm breathing heavily because we're going carrying stuff, breathing heavily. It's hot, and you can see my breath
Just because
because it was so humid. And I was like, that's wild. I'm just, you're used to seeing your breath in the winter. I've never seen my breath in the dead of summer like that. It was wild.
Paul Sherman, thank you for that. How about a calendar with a monthly knife check?
Yeah, we could do that. When you hear my idea, you're gonna love it.
I'm gonna laugh.
No, you're gonna love it.
Am I gonna hit the roof? Thank you for that, Paul. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, damn, that's good.
Told you.
Damn, that's good. Well, that goes into we had a question earlier. Somebody had asked who came up with the Hellbent Holler name.
I did.
Jesse does, because
Yeah.
Jesse's the
I'm the
brains behind this operation.
the
And
brain trust. Oh God, we're in for some trouble here if I'm the brain trust. I do a lot of the creative aspect. I run the whole program.
I am nuts and bolts. Jesse is the creative juices that flow with
Yeah.
Hellbent Holler.
I
So,
do a lot of the when it comes to doing all the editing, any kind of graphics, any kind of concepts, all of that stuff, all of that's me. Ideas for stuff, that's me. Joe does like all of the equipment type stuff. Joe does a really good job at coming up with novel
Joe does a
ways.
great job at coming up with novel things.
Of coming
So,
up with new ways to use equipment, new equipment to apply it to our purposes that,
Mhm.
equipment that is generally not used for, paranormal research. He'll find something
Welcome,
and
Ed.
apply it in that way.
Yeah,
Hello,
and
Ed.
and we'll also, something I was thinking about the other day because we
And
were.
Joe's our anthropologist and folklorist as well.
Many hats I wear.
Man.
Actually, I just wear one hat. But I almost told Jesse, and it just goes against everything we've ever said because we've joked about it so much. I almost want to kind of do some traditional like ghost hunting with some people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We had something on the TV the other day and I stopped. What was the name of that?
The thing we watched last night?
Yeah.
That was The Haunting Lodge.
The Haunting Lodge.
It was very good.
I'm watching it and I just went,
good.
and I'm going to be a little pompous sometimes, but I think we're pretty good at what we do. You know what I'm saying? Pretty good. We got it dialed in and we're getting better all the time. For as much grief as we get that we're not real Bigfooters, well, which we're not, but those same real Bigfooters are constantly asking me how we do stuff, you know? So we got it dialed in, but we were watching that Haunting Lodge thing and these are just ghost people. And I was just like, man, just the passion and just the technical expertise that these people had. I was just going, this is really impressive. So, but I want to try to get,
we have Denim Devil in here.
oh, good Lord.
I think he texted me before we went on.
But anyway, but yeah, I handle the stuff with wires and the nuts and bolts and just cobbling stuff together. Although we do need to try, JD Smooth sent me a thing for some ice that takes forever to melt. It's crazy. It's so crazy. He sent me the video on it and it's like
magic ice.
It's like, I can't remember what it's called. It's not called like super ice, but it's, I have not tried that yet, but I'm glad you mentioned that to me because I had it on my
space ice.
We're going to try it this weekend. All right. See what else we got.
Jeff Rawls, one of our members here, this is actually has nothing to do with cryptids, but we're on our family vacation in Maggie Valley, North Carolina since Sunday. Awesome to see my North Carolina. And I got to see my great nephews, one named River and the other named Fife, Gaelic for wolf. Maggie Valley is, how far is Maggie Valley from my granny's house? Like 4 miles. Yeah. So I grew up near Maggie Valley. I grew up in the Bethel area over there, which is about 8 or 9, 10 miles away from Maggie Valley. So you are in where I'm from there, Jeff Rawls.
All right. And we have no agenda tonight, man. We're going to let the chat.
I've got some start up there.
Chat lead the way.
Run through there. I'm trying to go through some of these too.
Somebody talking about more Friday night lives with guests. We were talking about that earlier today, that we might need to incorporate that a little bit more as time allows. A lot of times we're leaving out on Friday evenings to go into these investigations, but I think Friday night's a good time. Everybody seemed to enjoy that for like the live. So we might have to kind of try to get that.
Yeah, so I'd like to do that. I'd like to do more interview stuff. We're actually, Joe and I are palavering right now on putting together a list of individuals that we want to interview.
Yeah, so.
And then I have a
cool people, not the same old stuff, man. Like just Jesse keeps going on that it's like a new era. We feel like there's a new era in like the investigative and research aspects of this. And that's what we want to kind of really like kind of hone in on. So Hawk is using the company's Wi-Fi. So he is he's
on the company dime.
Watching cryptid stuff on the company dime. So all right.
I'm so far behind here. I'm still trying to catch up. But yeah, we're super oh god, cryptid response needs I just realized I need help out holler cornhole boards.
What's up, buddy? So
have the hole be Joe just yelling.
All right. See what else we got. Buddy South Force 10's in here. Howdy, howdy. How are you?
I'm looking here. I'm trying to go through here. Hellbent Holler cookbook. Hellbent cookbook from the Holler. Yeah. I thought about writing a cookbook a while back, but I just don't have time. Yeah. I barely have time to cook for you.
Exactly. So thank you, Vincent. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Throw that to the equipment fund.
So you want to talk about maybe some of the stuff that we have been doing over the past couple weeks? We're looking at a new thermal right now that would
looking
possibly...
at a new thermal. We actually, we have like I have a long-term equipment plan that constantly keeps getting derailed. The storm threw it way off. But One of those things is I want to try to get a thermal imager with a rangefinder built into it, because like I said, that's one of the things I'm horrible at, is just looking at something and going 50 feet away, 60 feet away, whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes like people will ask me and I'm just like going, God, how long was that? So it's something to get a little bit more accurate assessment on how far the things are that we see. So we're looking about doing that. Air Force One. Thank you, Air Force One. Both for that and then the little chuckle you just
I like
gave
that
me.
his avatar is a DJing Sasquatch.
DJing Sasquatch.
Yeah. Oh, here's one here. April Black. How was the conference? Did that happen yet? So we're going to be speaking at the Tennessee Wildman and Cryptid in McMinnville, Tennessee on August the 10th. So that is coming up soon. That is hot on our heels right now. It is coming. It is coming. This previous weekend was the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. That was in Gatlinburg. We did not go to that this year. We went a couple years ago. We did not attend this year because we had way too much work to do to go and spend a couple of days out there doing that. But a bunch of our friends went and they had a blast. But yeah, so August 10th, we'll be at Tennessee Wildman Crypticon. I've got information on my Facebook page. There's information also on our website. I did a post. No, I didn't. I'll put a post on our website about it. So you can find a link there. And I'll actually put a link in the description of this video when this is done. So if you want to buy tickets to that or go check that out, follow the link in the description.
And we'll do it like a presentation. Actually, it's Jesse doing the presentation while I hit buttons on the computer for slides.
Yeah.
But we don't really go there to sell stuff. We don't have like a table with like little tchotchkes on there. We basically just got to talk to people. So if you want to come and palaver and hang out, please do so. And thank you for that, Sheila P. Thank you.
I'm also going to I'm going to discuss it with the event promoter, and I think that we're going to see if we can film my presentation and make that available for members after the event.
Yeah.
That way, if you can't make it to the event and you're a member of the channel, you can check out my presentation. Joe's going to we'll try to set up my Sony and we'll try to film it that way, and we'll just put that up as a members video so you can check out the presentation if you can't make it to the event. So I'm going to discuss that with them, and that should be okay.
Deer in the headlights. I've noticed people hating on you guys being on Small Town Monsters. People hate everything. It was funny because when it first came out, I was looking at some of the comments, and two things stood out to me. Is that you would see somebody just going, "Oh, I can't stand Joe and Jesse," and I would just click on their thing out of like curiosity, and we have already like blocked them from the channel previously, probably from being an a-hole. And then the other thing too is that you can click on people's things when they leave comments on other channels, and you can see like the last 5 other comments that they left. And I'm just going, good Lord, these people hate everything. You know what I'm saying? They hated Alex's beard. They hated the hats. They hated, I don't know why you all complaining because there was too much music or not enough music, or I'm just going there. So there's literally a subclass of people who go onto YouTube just to hate things and then spend all of their time hating things. And I'm going, damn, that can't be healthy. You know what I'm saying? So, but I focused on all the nice comments that people made about
That's
us. It was
good for
pretty
you.
cool.
That's positive.
There was a lot of people that was very touching, the nice comments that we got.
We used to, God, I posted a thing not too long ago where this guy was saying I look like a stripper in the woods with my grandfather. And
I was like, I'm going to play up this, although it used to be a prematurely gray beard. I guess it's just a gray beard.
I think you're right on time now.
I think I'm right on time now. It's been gray like this for several years, though. But thank you for that, Mark Bridges.
It's just wild how negative a lot of people can be. But I mean, that's the nature of the internet. Welcome to the internet.
Welcome to the internet. We don't usually pay attention unless it's like credible death threats. The usual run-of-the-mill death threats, we just kind of like let it roll off our backs. Just the credible ones are the ones we get a little.
The code yellows, we don't really worry about.
Sean, I got a little confused. You said you weren't Bigfooters. Videos I've seen sure look great. We don't do typical Bigfoot stuff. Like we don't cast prints. We don't bang on trees. We occasionally will bang on a tree. It's not part of our usual MO, but we don't cast footprints. We're not just dedicated just to Bigfoot. We started off with Bigfoot, but out of all the weirdness that we've experienced, the least amount has probably been Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Stuff that I look at and just go, that's Bigfoot related, you know. We run across a lot of other weird paranormal activity.
Well, I mean, neither of us. Well, I mean, I guess not neither of us, because you saw something when you were a kid.
Yeah.
But I've never had what would be considered a Class A sighting of.
We've had Class A sightings of something.
Something.
It didn't look like a Bigfoot to me.
It didn't look like a Bigfoot.
If that's a Bigfoot, I don't think there would be as many people out looking for it. So
I think we've got a real disconnection of what Bigfoot looks like if that was a Bigfoot. But I've never had like a Class A sighting.
Thank you, Mark. But tonight's going to be just free flowing. It's going to be all over the place. It's just going to be all over the dang place, man. South Force 10, we had a lot of people asking about how about Holland this weekend. Were they hating on us, South Force? Were they just going, who'd you friends with those Jesse and Joe people? How could you?
Can't help it.
Yeah, and it's always been like that. You know what? It's weird. It's like that. I've been not on a public facing role, but I mean, I've been involved in like Bigfoot research for decades now at this point. And I know how it is, but it's just so weird when you see that there's just people that don't like anything. And listen to me, we're an acquired taste. People love us or hate us. I'm well aware of that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's us in this field, and that's us outside this field as people as well.
Yeah, you know? I mean, we are, I think we're pretty respectful of everybody, but we have our own opinions, and we don't follow the status. If I don't think the status quo is right.
I know you guys can't see this, but Joe goes, I think we're pretty respectful of people, as he's sliding knives
around the table. But but at the same token, though, if we don't follow the status quo, we're just up front. We don't follow the status quo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Infrasound, we don't cast footprints. Just don't do it. Knock yourself out if you want to. It's great. Somebody needs to do it. It ain't gonna be us. But and that kind of, if you don't, the thing with the Bigfoot, I think that's held the research aspects of it back is that everybody has to be in lockstep. And lockstep, no matter whether you're like a strict flesh and blood person, you're into the woo. I don't know what the hell's going on out there. So we're going to pursue anything. You know what I'm saying? But we're not in lockstep with stuff. And if stuff doesn't make sense to me, I'm just going to go, I don't really think so.
Yeah.
Well, so-and-so says, I don't think so-and-so's right. It just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe they are, but I'm just saying, I'm going to proceed on the fact that I don't think that makes sense. So there's just a tendency to tick people off.
There's been a huge prevalence over the years of people constantly touting, we need to be scientific. We need to be scientific.
But then they use bad science.
But then it's when the data presented does not align with their worldview or doesn't align with what they've, believed over the years, they completely reject it. And that's one of the most unscientific things you can do is not evolve your theories based on the data that you're given.
I'm bad about this, though. I'm bad about blocking people like real quick. You know what I'm saying? On comments. Because people are like, oh, you need that to help you in the algorithm. And I'm like, I don't give two shits about the algorithm. I don't really care about the algorithm. We'll grow or we won't grow. I think we're doing okay, but I don't want, and it's weird because what happens is I see people make negative comments and then I'll leave them, but then the people that enjoy our stuff end up like getting like upset on our behalf.
Yeah.
And and I'm like, I want people to come and enjoy our stuff, not feel that they need to defend us and do everything like that. So I just block them. I don't care, man. It just, you can leave a 500-word comment and then I'll just hit one button and never have to see you again. And what's crazy is people that you block, their comments still show up for them. So we probably still have people that just leaving like nasty stuff on every video, just thinking that everybody sees it, and they don't. Nobody sees it.
What do you just type cope and then block?
I usually do. I don't usually do. I just usually just say something like, this is really negative. Don't think we want to get involved in this. You're blocked, or something to that effect. And then just block them and then just move on. I don't want to spend a bunch of time arguing with people.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
I had a good one here.
I start a couple too going through there.
Jody Ferguson, like I said, really appreciate you helping Holler. Jesse and Joe are really good researchers, and I appreciate the show. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you coming here and spending your Monday with us. Same thing with our boy Michael. Speaking of all
so far,
congrats on 25K.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We talked about this before too. Is like all of this crazy infighting within, say, the paranormal world, the cryptid world.
It's ugly.
It's ugly. The paranormal world,
like the ghost world's like, woof, I keep going back and forth on who's the worst.
Oh my God.
And what's crazy is that if you get out of Reddit no, I can't even say that. I was going to say, if you get off Reddit, the UFO community is probably the best behaved, but then I took that back. I don't know who's worse. UFO, ghosts, Bigfoot, Dogman's pretty bad.
But you know
when
what?
Dogman goes bad, Dogman gets real bad. The Dogman community gets real bad.
But think about all these factions who will, it's like a family that feuds. You know what I'm saying? It's a family that feuds with each other constantly. But if you insult somebody in that family, they'll band together and come after you.
Oh, they don't band together a lot of times. They just go, oh yeah, he is like that. Yeah, they use that as an opportunity to do that. James Rose, enjoy all you do. Keep up the great content. Thank you for that, James. So thank you.
We gotta have like a cryptid haters ball.
Eugene Page, have you ever heard Sasquatch popping its teeth or gums? I don't think that a lot of what sometimes people think are tree knocks are tree knocks. I don't think it's wood on wood. I think that sometimes we heard rock on rock distinctly several times now in the spot we're looking at where those dogs supposedly went missing. But I do think that sometimes there are sounds that originate with these entities that we are mistaking for wood on wood contact. So I just think that's the case. I think tree knocking does happen, and sometimes we'll hear stuff and just refer to it as tree knocking just for ease of understanding what we're discussing. But I do think that happens.
I tell you what, though, it's hard to find a stick on the ground that is suitable to do a tree knock with. I'm terrible at that. There's lots of documented evidence of me picking up what I think is a perfect stick. Now, listen, I don't have the knowledge of sticks that say someone who or something that lives in the woods would. I guess he could just, like a Sasquatch, could just see a stick and be like, "That's the one," and then clunk, clunk, clunk. Yeah. But or they.
You have a pretty bad success rate
on
terrible. Picking up deadfall.
Terrible. But there's not a lot of deadfall out there that is suitable for that purpose. Or do the Sasquatch have their own engraved little Sasquatch bats?
I don't know. Dead and Yard Hunt, thank you for that. The Loch Ness 350 Loch Ness Monster. Thank you, Dead On. I actually recommended you to somebody on the internet. They were looking for a Dogman mask for a costume for a documentary they were doing. Yeah. I linked them to your Instagram page, so keep an eye out on that. You might see somebody. Bonnie Blue McGee, welcome to the membership. We greatly appreciate it. Keep an eye out for members content. We're going to have some members only stuff coming up soon.
Yeah, somebody said.
Well, hold on. Squigla asked, would you guys go into a portal? No, yes. Do you have any stories? Look at a burning light, because I don't know if that was a portal or like something that would be like UAP or some weird blending of the two, but she was all running for it, and I just did not want to get any closer to it, especially with the figures around it. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. That pretty much will answer your question. No, yes. So chat's freaking flying.
I know. I'm trying to catch up, but
we wanted to keep it. So there's like 300 people here, so we're not doing one of those.
What was the previous question? I had something to add to that about members content. Yes. So somebody asked earlier when I was talking about the Tennessee Wildman and CryptidCon on August the 10th in McMinnville, Tennessee. I'm trying to plug. I'm failing miserably. All right, let's rewind this. At the Tennessee Wildman and CryptidCon, we're going to be doing some lives. I'm going to be doing some members content, some lives. We're going to be doing some content from there. We're going to actually be there with a few researchers who are our friends and colleagues. So hopefully we can get together with them. And when we have a free moment, a quiet moment, we maybe can get a small interview or two. I think that would be good.
Table thing, man. So,
I think we ought to do a little thing. I'm going to start working on a project that I've been very excited about starting. I'll be starting that project at this event. It's a portrait project that I've been very excited to kick off, but I'll be starting that. I'll be sharing some of that with you guys too. But I'm going to do basically like fine art portraits of other researchers.
People that are prominent in the community, researchers, experiencers.
Yeah. So that's a project that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm going to kind of kick off doing that at that event. But we are going to be doing some stuff at that event, and hopefully doing some other kind of like side quest stuff that we'll be sharing with members as well. So we're super excited about that. Carry on.
Thank you, Jeff Yarrington. Thank you so much. A lot of people just throwing money at us, not even asking questions. Jay Myers, y'all are out looking for Bigfoot and the Dogman. You're not doing it for the money, but for the love of the cryptid creature. There's no money in this ever. If we won $1 million in the lottery tomorrow, we would probably spend $1,010,000 on equipment and stuff like that doing it. So there's not a, there's no money in this unless you are on a big network. And there's somebody in the chat right now, and I can't believe I didn't save this comment. What the hell?
Yeah, Kim sent me a Halloween decoration thing the other day, and I was like, I can't have that at my house. I live in a bad neighborhood. The Grim Reaper will go missing inside of like 30 minutes.
But
what is that?
Well, hold on. I can't find it. It's
what
lost.
You got going?
It's lost to time now. It's lost to time. The chat's too ferociously busy.
Jay Myers, this is off topic, I guess. Jess, what happened to the blue streaks in your hair? I had to dye them black because in order to have blue streaks in my hair, I have to bleach my hair. And my hair was breaking off. It was not good at all. So we're letting nature heal for a bit, and then we might bring it back.
James, I don't know if I got you. If not, thank you.
I don't
if
think
I
you
did,
did.
Thank you again. We appreciate that. Chat's flying so much.
I know.
So.
I'm trying to catch up.
Donald Sparks wants to know. We used to carry like 9mm, and then as weirder and weirder stuff happened, we both upgunned to 10mm.
I think what the big inspiration for that was going to the LBL.
Oh yeah, when we went to the LBL, because you can't carry handguns there.
Yeah.
And we were carrying like blades with us. But when we had that thing on thermal, we got back and I was just like, really wish we'd had our gun with us. And then I was just like, I really wish we'd had a bigger gun with us. And we like went out like that day or the next day and got like our first 10mm. So we carried 10mm.
That phrase, use enough gun.
Use enough gun. So Rhonda Williams, been there 4 months. Love Hellbent How I can't chat to my phone. Love y'all. Thank you for that, Rhonda.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you for your support. We greatly appreciate it. So
I'm hydrating. Look at me.
South Force 10, thanks. We were great on Small Town Monsters.
I just want to say that Buttworm says that he's new to our channel.
Buttworm had said, I think you're both beautiful. And I thought I started. And I just wanted to go, hey, Buttworm thinks we're both beautiful. Thank you, Buttworm.
You're the real MVP, Buttworm.
Yeah, Buttworm, you're the real new to your channel. Like what I've seen so far. We like what we're seeing with you so far.
Hey, man.
So.
That stray cat doesn't have buttworms anymore. That's for sure. Kim Dresser said she loves our new kitty. So I posted pictures of Sebastian today. Sebastian had his first vet appointment today, so he's no longer a stray cat, right? So
let me tell you, I got named Sebastian because Jesse's the brander, the namer of everything.
I name everything.
He's got stripes. So first it was like, hey, that striped cat is back outside again, and then it was Stripey Boy. And then it was Striper.
Well, we had to keep the SB.
Yeah.
So Stripey Boy,
Striper. And then it became Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
And then it became
Seabass.
Sebastian. And now we either call him Seabass or Bass most of the time. And he answers to all of it. So that's our little feral cat that adopted us.
He's now a family member. Deuster's in the house. What's up, dude?
What's up, the dude? Everybody, Martin Groves, Deuster, everybody was at the Smoky Mountain Conference this past weekend.
Yeah, everybody looked like they had a good time.
For those of you who went, how was the Dogman presentation?
Oh yeah. Aaron and Heather did a presentation on Dogman. They looked like they had a packed house. I want to know how everything was received. They said it was pretty good. That everybody was pretty open to it. We were all joking. I was like, I hope the vegetables that they throw at you are semi-rotten to soften the blow. But I mean, I know a lot of people online were pretty upset that they were going to include Dogman stuff at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot conference. But a lot of these conferences are kind of branching out into other cryptids, namely Dogman, because there's a lot of Dogman's so hot right now.
Dogman's so hot.
So hot. But there's like a lot of buzz about Dogman stuff. And
that's a good thing. That's a good thing that Dogman is like so hot right now because it's normalizing the subject.
Yeah. Because think about us.
We had a lot of
2.5 years ago. You know, we had a lot of negative views about the subject. We had a lot
it's getting
we laughed about it. I mean, Dogman Summer, of course, Dogman Summer is still cool as hell, but but even us, and we're pretty open to a lot of stuff. And then
we're a lot more open now than we were before.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, we had to learn a hard lesson on that one. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it brings it to the forefront, and then now maybe people can maybe the closest approximation they've got is Bigfoot, and they're like, wait a minute, maybe I experienced this, or maybe that got them interested in Bigfoot, and they're like, okay, they feel a little safer, kind of maybe talking about their experiences.
South Force said everybody was loving us and missing on us there, man. Oh well.
We should have sent a cardboard cutout.
We should have, and y'all could have just like moved it around the place. Jerry Faust, thank you for that. Do you reckon that burning light was one of those screaming lights? He paid attention during the things. We had received an email from somebody who we don't think used his real name. If he did, it's even weirder.
That's a weird story too.
Yeah, that's a weird story.
He used. I didn't put the name on there.
Yeah,
okay?
We're not going to put the name on there.
I didn't put the name on there, but the guy used a name that was the name of a guy who has been missing
in that area
from that area for a few years.
So that was weird.
Very weird.
And the email to me always seemed like there was something off with it. He basically said that he recognized the spot we went into in North Georgia. We needed to be careful up there. And he talked about how his grandfather had gone missing up there. It's been a while since I read that email.
Yeah. His grandfather went missing. They thought his grandfather went off and got drunk.
They told the kids that the grandfather just ran off, but they thought that the lights took him. That there were these screaming lights that came out of the sky, and I was just like, screaming. What the hell does that mean? Screaming like people scream, or they just make a
and we
weird
never
sound?
had any follow-up from that one.
And they took people, and then we saw that. I don't know. That light was completely quiet. It didn't take us. It did rise up into the sky, and there were figures around it. So I don't know. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm always just going, if we had stayed up there, would it have behaved differently? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's one time. We're willing to take a great deal of risks for stuff, and we usually run towards stuff. That wasn't something I was running towards. I'd draw the line there, but I don't know. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I've often thought about it. James Davies, Joe and Jesse went up a mountain and did an experiment to replicate lights. Was that the Brown Mountain lights? Yes, it was. Was the broken equipment replaced? Some of it's been replaced. We actually had to get a dry box for cameras.
Yes.
That keeps like the humidity low inside this box, and photographers keep it in there because it's so wet and humid here now.
Yes.
We're going through equipment at such a crazy rate.
And what's so good about this thing is like we can put our thermals in it, we can put our cameras in it, but so the last expedition we just got done with, like we were talking about earlier, the humidity was insane. Like we would pull out a camera and everything would just fog up. So when we got done, we were out there for hours and hours and hours. We're like, oh God, we're going to have to replace all these cameras. We're so scared. We were scared to be out there too long. But
like we lost one of our Phasm cams at Brown Mountain.
Yes. Because we climbed that mountain after that crazy storm.
And we used a GoPro that was in a weaterproof housing, but we didn't have long story. But yeah, we actually invested in that to try to cut down on the equipment attrition rate. And other people are like going, well, I've never lost anything. I'm going, you use one camera. You just, especially with the audio recorders, the microphones are very sensitive to a lot of that stuff. And you can kind of protect them, but then you cut down on what you get on the audio.
Yeah.
And also we're rough on stuff. We're out falling down over, we're climbing the sides, scrambling up the sides of mountains. We're busting through the brush, climbing over stuff, we're wet and filthy usually by the time we do this stuff. And the equipment is too.
Yeah.
And you lose a little bit, but we're hoping that this dry box, what we did is we'll come home, we'll clean our stuff, we'll throw it in the dry box, and we'll just let it set, and then hopefully get all the humidity out of it, all the moisture out of it, and then it'll cut down on our equipment.
Did you acknowledge that one?
I think we did. Didn't we acknowledge Bonnie? I think it showed up twice on there. Or did we go back a ways?
I don't know.
Well, Bonnie and Kate will highlight it if you didn't. Bonnie, I thought we thanked you for joining the membership.
Bonnie Blue McGee, we're going to thank you again.
I think we did. It showed up against us twice.
Sometimes if I'm looking here and you're doing something, we're not. I know that it seems like we're of one mind, but we're definitely.
No, we did. Bonnie was. I think it just showed up twice for some reason. So
welcome anyway.
Welcome again. Welcome again. All right. My colleague, the paranormal market is exploding in 24. You guys, I see the thing is about us is that what some people like about us, other people hate about us, is that we are very open to stuff. We will change our mind as new data comes in, and we're not limited to just any one phenomenon.
Yeah.
If it's weird, we want to go after it because we think that a lot of it's linked or a lot of it's from the same source. I don't know, but you see commonalities between all of it. And UFO people don't want to hear that there's commonalities between UFOs and Bigfoot. And Bigfoot people don't want to hear that there's commonalities between Bigfoot and a lot of paranormal activity.
Mm-hmm.
Paranormal people don't want anything to be linked with anything that they do. You know what I'm saying? They're just paranormal. That's what they do. So the fact that we're so cross spectrum, some people think that's cool. Other people, it really grinds their gears.
You know what grinds my gears?
You know what grinds my gears? Those helmet holler people running around in the woods with spectrum analyzers and
I like that voice you did.
It's got to be my new character, my new recurring character. Oh, I'm way behind. That's why we saw Bonnie again, because I'm further behind than I thought I was. So, Bill Evans, have you heard about the proposed 400-acre motorsports park and resort in the URAs? No,
oh
I
my
have not.
God.
I will tell you that one of our research areas is mostly, it's public land, but then there's a few larger private pieces there that have been, the landowners have allowed it to be accessible by people there on the public property. And I guess one of the landowners passed away and his kids have sold it and they're putting 500 homes there. And that's going to completely change the dynamic out there.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that more and more through the South, unfortunately. I'm not a tree hugging hippie, but there's a big push to really kind of like take away any like green space or natural habitat. And it's just really it's going to have an effect on the natural world, you know, the environment and the animals and everything like that. But then I wonder what that's going to cause for the paranormal. So it's going to change the game. It's going to change the game over the next few years. So
I'm getting up to I'm so behind. I'm like to the tree knocking part right now.
Davies, how about a Wampus cat investigation from Hellbent Halloween? Write that down. Hellbent Halloween. Stealing that.
Wait, I put that on a graphic last year.
Did you?
Yes.
I got to start paying more attention to the final. When we do is we'll do an investigation and then we come home. And
he doesn't see any of our videos until we're doing the premiere.
And even then, sometimes I'm focused more on like the chat than I am with anything else.
I'm like, do you want to see this part of this? No, it's all right. It's okay. Be all right. Okay, Joe.
Right. I got to go do this. So
Hellbent Halloween. Wampus cat. There's a couple of Wampus cat things around.
And what's weird is
that sexy enough for Halloween?
Yeah.
You know? I want like a headless Bigfoot specter or something.
Silver Wolves, Stones of the Past. There's a lot of reports of crawlers, but not a lot of researchers on this cryptid like Bigfoot and Dogman. We don't really get a lot of
reports on that.
A matter of fact, I'm trying to think if we've ever gotten anything that would be considered a crawler. Yeah, a couple that could be considered, but we don't really get a lot in this area.
Yeah.
We get Bigfoot, we get general paranormal stuff, getting more and more Dogman stuff, a lot of Dogman stuff actually. But we're getting those ones where people say, hey, I had this weird Bigfoot encounter, but then you listen to them and they didn't really see it that well. And the behavior makes you think, I think you had a Dogman encounter. You just didn't get a good look at it and you're predisposed to think Bigfoot. But crawlers, we don't really get a lot of, get a lot of stuff, man. So Deuster talking about everybody was in Gatlinburg except for the kids here. So
Hellbent Halloween, I like it.
Oh, Moondog.
Moondog.
Hold on. I'm going to send Jesse a shrunken carnival head. Looks real. I think it's made out of a monkey butt. Ha ha ha, for Halloween. Oh, you know it.
Be still, my beating heart. If you do that.
Hope George Norrie invites y'all on Coast to Coast AM. That'd be quite honestly, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. So Sherry Griffey, thank you for Sebastian's catnip fun.
Oh no. Oh God, I had him out there today. I've discovered, all right, I have a new system now.
So
I had a pocket full of treats.
Yeah. Well, this is, he kind of adopted us, like I said, when we were here.
Yeah.
You can tell this cat had never had any affection any just warmth in his whole life. He's just been like on his own, but he didn't even know how to like be affectionate.
Yeah,
he basically comes up to you and looks at you and then just collapses at you and just kind of spazzes out until you pet him.
I put him in my lap for the first time and he was like this, like he didn't know what to do.
But there is a rabies outbreak
around here. Yeah.
They have been finding more and more animals with rabies, which is something we have to take into consideration. Because we got scared by a armadillo this past week. An armadillo popped out of nowhere on us. Jesse screamed.
That's going to be in the video.
That'll be in the video because it was just right that we were hearing something over here. Hands off camera. Hearing something over here, and it was big moving through the brush. And then we turned around and there was an armadillo crossing the path next to us. We didn't hear it because of all the noise, whatever was over there making. So Jesse screamed. But the rabies things got us a little concerned. So we were like, hey, we need to take this cat, who I guess is no longer a feral outdoor cat, but is turning into a...
What's weird is like the rabies outbreak around here is the confirmed case is a horse. So...
Horse rabies.
Horse rabies.
Mark Bridges, thank you. How about a Dogman Halloween holler? The Dogman cases are the best for Halloween. To me, I would rather look for Dogman on Halloween.
I agree.
It's just doing a live one because we like doing a live one on Halloween.
Yeah. Well, the problem too is the last two Halloweens we went up and did LBL.
It's hard to do the
but
LBL.
Now, I mean, you've got so many people going out to the LBL. My concern is, and Halloween's such a pivotal night, you know, and you have all these people who are trying to do what we do all the time. You know, my concern is if we go out there, I mean, it's an 8-hour drive for us to get up there. We have to go up for like 10 days. We got to go up there, 8-hour drive, 10 days. We have to take off both of our jobs. We have to pay all the money to go up there and stay and do all this stuff. And we get a lot of really cool stuff like footage, and we get some cool investigations out of it. The problem with like Halloween for me is if you've got people, because there's a lot more people running around the LBL now. Say we're out at, say, the alleged massacre site, you know, and like it's easy to find out where that is, where that spot is now. You know, you've got somebody who just decided today that they're going to go out there and they're going to kill the Dogman, you know, and then they see, you know, two figures walking through the woods and they're convinced, oh, there's the Dogman, and then they just shoot us or something.
That's what worries me, is the getting shot.
Yeah.
Is because there have been times when we have drawn firearms, and there's been even rare times where you've included that, you know what I'm saying? But that's not an all the time occurrence because guns are dangerous. And trust me, we carry for our protection. I'm looking at a bunch of ammunition to my left right now. But whenever we draw our firearms, it's because we think that there's something there, you know what I'm saying? That's acting like an aggressive manner. And even then, people have gone, well, why didn't you shoot a few rounds into the tree line? Because I don't want to shoot a few rounds into the tree line because
you have to know what you're shooting at.
If it's somebody hoaxing us, I just committed homicide. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was a Dogman defense is probably not going to serve me really well on the stand.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go very well.
So we are very judicious and very cautious in even pulling our firearms out. Unfortunately, there's a trend heading in the opposite direction for that. With and people are constantly just like, you need to carry like a this and this and this, and you know what? That'd be great if we came in handy with it, but having a group of people that are real jazzed up to kill a Dogman running around with like ARs, and they're, even if they don't shoot on purpose, but you know, you're moving through the woods at night, even the best,
you get spooked.
You get spooked, or you just trip. You know,
and that's not the way I want to go down. Like if I go down, I want to go down like, you know, at the.
I want to get eaten by something.
I want to get eaten by
something. SD cards get found.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That I'm okay with. I don't want, you know, Billy Ray to, Billy Ray Jones to, you know, fill me full of lead out in the LBL by the damn massacre site. It will be. It will be
I
a
don't want
massacre
somebody to
site.
trip and just put one in me, or just go. There's a Dogman and just open up on us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we get shot on a live stream. So welcome back to the membership, Stephen. We appreciate it.
But this is what happens though with like locations like this. We've been doing this. We've been going out there and doing pretty hardcore investigations for a couple years now. we have to accept, you know, with the Small Town Monsters movie coming out and all this other stuff coming out, a lot more people are going there. We might have to accept that it's time to move on, you know? So,
well, and we're not going to move on. We just need to be more judicious in how we do
when
it.
we go,
Yeah.
I think that like you know, Halloween's going to be like a high point for people who are like,
but we got to find a place for Halloween. Actually, we do have one of those shockwaves. We sometimes have that and you just never see it because it's in a backpack. Or it's slung to the side of my backpack, tucked away back there on a sling, and we just don't include it because we don't like having a lot of firearms on YouTube.
yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, we actually picked that up after some of the North Georgia weirdness when we were going, all right, the 10 millimeters may not be enough. So
like how we have these really insane experiences and we're like, we need to go to the store.
We need to go. It either means we need to go get more equipment or go get something crazy. So
you're just constantly chasing.
And we hope to see you at CryptidCon. It's going to be great. So Crystal's got a thing. Aaron and Heather had many high praises for you guys on the last Lore You Know podcast. I've heard some of that. So Aaron talked about, because Heather asked if anybody had done things other than just kind of like stumble around the woods looking for Dogman, anything to try to attract them. We've done several things. One of them was the scent experiment that we've tried that we still haven't done properly yet.
Yeah.
But that we've tried to draw that in. We've tried electromagnetic experiments to see what we can draw in.
What's crazy is we've tried scent experiments several times in several locations.
And weather always rolls in.
Weather always rolls in, even if it's not. And this is like kind of a missing 411 connection too.
Yeah.
That every time we try to do these scent experiments, and when we did it for the werewolf experiments, we had the Sasquatch pheromone chip. And then we had the wolf lure, that terrible wolf lure that almost caused us to lose our P.O. box. But as soon as we set everything, all of a sudden all this crazy weather rolls in. And that seems like it happens every time. And we're getting lower and lower and lower on these pheromone chips. So
yeah, I just wish they still made them.
I know.
All right. Let's do a little thing here.
Bonnie Blue asked about, I'm still scanning through, but I marked it.
I got it. I'll pull it for the mark. Crypt Castleberry, thank you. Taylor, Mississippi for help. You guys remember the running joke on Taylor, Mississippi? Because there was somebody on the chat one night telling us that we couldn't.
You know what? That was the night after the last Wild and Weird Con. We did we were at Logan State Park at the lodge, and we did a live stream from in the lobby.
Because the lobby was supposedly haunted down in that wing.
And it actually was some weird stuff was happening. But
we're weird people. I think the people that are in the chat that have met us will probably back this up on there. We'll talk to like anybody, you know what I'm saying? And that always like gets me. Like you do these conferences, there's people that are like celebrities there. And I'm going, dude, we're looking for things that most people think are ridiculous. Come on. You put your camo pants on one leg at a time like everybody else. But we made friends with the lady.
For some reason, I thought of them as like Jinkos for some reason.
we made friends with the lady at the front desk, and she told us that we gave her like a shirt because she thought the logo was cool, and she told us that this wing was haunted. So we did a live from there. But somebody was talking about Taylor, Mississippi, and we were going, we need to go investigate Taylor, Mississippi. And there was somebody in the chat.
Somebody got incensed.
Very ticked off, going, you can't go to Taylor, Mississippi because they stop everybody with an out-of-state license plate and arrest them.
You'll go to jail.
You'll go to jail. They're there. That's, you'll go to jail. You'll never get in there. And I was just going, oh yeah, we will. And I'm looking it up and I'm going, there's like a really popular like wedding chapel that people from out of state.
Well, it's a wedding venue. So it's I think it's just south of Oxford, Mississippi, which is a college town, I believe. But yeah, and it's like, are the only people allowed to go to this place and go to these weddings people from Taylor, Mississippi?
Yeah, so this was right around the time that the Storm Area 51 thing was going on.
Oh, yeah.
And the tagline was, they can't stop us all, because they were going to have like thousands of people rush the fence at Area 51 and you can't stop us all. And this person was going on about how they would arrest us to keep the Dogman secret. And so the thing became, we were going to storm Taylor, Mississippi. They can't arrest us all.
Yeah.
it lingers in the back of my mind to go one day when we get bigger, I'm going to do a storm Taylor, Mississippi, and it'll just be us walking around and going, all right, well, nobody's arresting us, but I would like to do outside of Taylor, Mississippi.
Wait, there is something here in Taylor, Mississippi. Hang on. What does that mean?
Big Truck Theater?
Taylor Inn and Big Truck Theater?
Is it just a theater of big trucks?
Do you get to watch like 80s trucking movies?
That's pretty rad. All right, so.
Done.
The Stitch Witch is green again.
We're going to the truck theater. We're going to investigate the truck theater. How about that?
All right.
You two have never been to a small town.
Oh, yeah. Somebody told us we'd never been to a small town. We didn't know how things were done there. And I'm going.
It's like, I'm from Haywood County, North Carolina, homie.
I'm from up near like West Virginia, my man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there were, I don't know how many couple thousand people were. My hometown's big now. So, South Force said it too. I didn't know whether to mention you were at the conference because I didn't know if you were going incognito or not. But South Force was with Martin Groves at the conference.
He slipped in under the cover of night.
Yeah. Martin Groves, old handsome hillbilly. So that had to be a twosome there. You know what I'm saying? South Force and Martin Groves. Good night. So, all right.
Everybody was getting Martin's autograph.
Martin's a big deal.
He walked in with like a fur coat on his shoulder, chain, sunglasses. Ladies,
oh,
ladies.
Lord. I came across that. Everybody was getting your autograph. It was crazy. So, all right. Y'all are going like buck wild in this chat tonight. I'm having a hard time keeping up. And
buck wild. Bob in Michigan asked, what books are you guys reading?
Oh, God. You want to hear my current reading list, which is you guys might see me not as active in comments and stuff like that for a while because I have a big reading list that I've got to try to get caught up on here.
I wish I had time for some cryptid stuff right now, but I'm reading stuff on filmmaking right now, and I'm about to start school, so I'm excited about
that. The Book of Werewolves, Phantom Black Dogs, Poltergeist, Parallels, and Contagion. I'm rereading certain parts of that. I'm rereading certain parts of The Eighth Tower, Contacts of Modalities, Fairy Faith and Celtic Countries, UFOs from the 20th Century Mind, Meaning and Absurdity, Alien Parasites, and I don't even know what this is. I must have got this. I don't know what that is. Anyway, but yeah, so we're reading a lot right now, man. I don't have a lot of time for reading because of this stuff, but I'm trying to get back into it.
Sam Burton said he's gone to the manor for the last 2 Halloweens. Well, yeah, that's why you get chased out by Satanists.
Sam Burton went to the manor and
we were up in the LBL and he's like messaging.
No, somebody messaged me to get in touch with him. We came because we keep a hotel room whenever we go to the LBL because we've got so much equipment with us. We have to have a safe place to store what we're not using at that moment. And it's the LBL. It's even we want to go shower every once in a while. And we'll disperse camp throughout the week. But then you need a base of operations to go back, charge equipment, clean equipment, do data dumps because we film and we're recording everything.
I got to have a safe place to store my stocks of Vienna sausages.
But we have it for resupply. So we had gone back and I had checked my messages and somebody was like, Sam Burton just got chased out of the Seawood Manor by devil worshippers. So I got in touch and Sam Burton had gone up there with his dog Ace and came across people setting up for a ritual and they chased him out. And Ace is a very protective, awesome animal. And Ace took offense to that. And we're going to get Sam to tell the story and of what he experienced and include it with the Seawood footage whenever we're able to actually put that out. So
Seawood. I thought you said Seaword. I was like, oh, God.
No, God.
This is the UK show.
Mark Bridges in the LBL. Have you ever been, I'm assuming, followed before? We have I don't think we've been followed. We did find a abandoned campground near where Martin Grove's attack took place. That's got some weird associations with Dogman stuff. And the time it was closed, the manner in which it was been closed down, some of the reports around it. And we went in on foot and we came back geared for like, with gear specifically to investigate it further. And there were two cars there parked up near the top. Yeah, there's several gates that are closed off as they've slowly widened this area that you can't really go into. And there was two cars there, one with a Kentucky plate, one with a Tennessee plate. And both of them just had little stickers down on the side that they were unmarked police vehicles. And we were like, why are they here? This is such a random place to see anybody here. And we think that we triggered something, or somebody realized we were there, or that helicopter that saw us somehow alerted us to it. But as far as being followed, not really. So thank you for that, by the way. And then Bonnie Blue had asked, any reports of high strangeness in middle Georgia? Yeah, we get middle and southern Georgia stuff all the time.
Yeah, we get lots of reports from there. And Joe and I just scouted out two locations in middle Georgia that when the temperature kind of goes down a little bit and some of this vegetation dies back, we have one location in middle Georgia where we're going to go investigate that we're really excited about checking out.
Yeah.
But we scouted it out a few weeks ago. But it's that's going to be pretty epic.
Gotta let
cool.
some of the foliage die.
Yeah.
Or not to run. Thank you. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for the support. That is going to go into, well, that support's going to go. Like I said, we've got a equipment plan that we're getting back on. We got to upgrade the thermal imagers. We have got some night vision technology that we're looking into, and then there's some new sensor tech that I want to build and get up into it, along with some stuff on infrasound that I'm not going to go into right now, but we're going to do some really interesting stuff, hopefully over the next year. Mark Bridges, questions galore tonight. Mark, thank you for that. Will you ever go off the Beast of Blair Road? Beast of Bray Road, I think you're talking about. I'd love to get up in that area sometime, man.
Yeah.
A lot of that's private property around that, but I'd love to get up there into that area just because that's just one of those places that's so associated with the Dogman phenomenon, kind of like the LBL, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of those places that's just, you know, kind of like a bucket list type place. Yeah, we'd love to get up there.
So people were also asking if you would put together your reading list and we'll put it in the Discord.
Sure. Yeah. You were going to not be wanting a reading list after the very first book that's put into the reading list. So, but it's going to be Trickster and the Paranormal.
I was about to say, are you going to do Trickster and the Paranormal?
It's going to be Trickster and the Paranormal by George Hansen. And you're going to a quarter of the way in go, reading list was the worst idea. I think why am I doing this? But if you can stick through that book,
don't take that as a challenge.
You will have a understanding of the phenomenon, or the phenomena, however you want to look at it. And you will have a better understanding of the people who are involved both in experiencing it and researching it and why they do the things they do. He has a great section about how any group that is formed for the sole purpose of looking into various aspects of the paranormal, they always come to ruin. Friendships are broken, people become enemies, drama, chaos, discord, and how that's always happens, whether it's just a group of friends that get together on the weekends to look into Bigfoot, or more like SRI, Stanford Research Institute, and like some of the drama that goes along with
I was going to say
Jack Parsons.
I was going to say MUFON, a goofier group.
Yeah, but all of that, it doesn't matter what level it is, they always come to the same end. And why is that? It's because you're looking into a phenomenon that thrives on chaos and that trickster element of it. And that's why it's generally just the two of us with occasional hookups with other people that we have a lot of admiration for. But even with us, we feel that chaos sometimes. So.
And we're required to be together. That's part of it too, is like, we can't have that. We'll have our disputes. Don't worry. We'll have our disputes. But at the end of the day, we have to kind of make up, we can't let something like this tear us apart. So we're kind of required to be be at the end of the day.
Ed, who is new to the channel, said you should listen to the old Art Bell interviews on Coast to Coast Sam on the LBO killings. I did not know that existed.
I didn't know either.
Is that a thing? I never knew that existed.
Let us see in a little bit.
Yep. So. But you need to storm LBL. LBL's already been stormed. Man.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'm kind of going through here. I think Born Not to Run to join in the memberships. Dooster's bringing some of his books to the Tennessee Wildman and Cryptid Con and some of the paranormal research equipment. Everybody that we're going to be there with, like Martin, Dewey, everybody's got books. You know what I'm saying? So, except for us.
Kaiju Ninja, I was asking about that. Are you thinking about writing a Helmet Holler book? Did you just put that up?
No, I did not. So
Oh, I thought that's what you just put up. I'm sorry.
throw it on up there if you got it.
Are you thinking of writing a Helmet Holler book?
We have we probably have 10 different ideas on books. We've got one that we're really kind of focused on right now just because that's where our thoughts on the Dogman phenomenon are going to. It's just getting time, man. It's just getting time. Like we couldn't go to the Smoky Mountain Festival because of our day jobs and just how crazy they are.
Yeah.
I mean, like we said earlier, ain't nobody getting rich off YouTube.
It would be helpful, like if we had, if we had somebody that, if we could go out and investigate and then take our footage and turn it over to an editor,
But then it wouldn't be your
turn
vision.
it over to,
and it wouldn't be.
But it's just us two.
It has to be us because you convey what we felt and experienced there.
It has to be a singular.
You have to know that what we felt and experienced.
Yeah, it has to be a singular vision for it to translate properly. So I can't just hand over my footage to like an editor and then we, have a day off. So
Michael wants to know any more plans for the Uwari. Yeah, the Uwari is weird, man. I'm surprised there's not more stuff on the Uwari
out there
than there is.
Well, it's far flung for most people because it's it's north of Charlotte, so you don't have like researchers from Tennessee. You're not really gonna try to go there. Researchers from Ohio are not going to try to go there. You have to really travel. It's not centrally located to anywhere. So that's probably why. And there was like a huge influx of people talking about it years ago where it was kind of a hot ticket a few years ago, in like Bigfoot online discussion circles. And then some of the researchers that were there were very aggressive. Even when we were there, it caused some problems for us while we were there, but we really don't care now. So, but that might be part of why that is. But we're definitely doing some Uwari stuff. We've got a lot of plans for Uwari stuff. After our encounter with the rattlesnake up there and that terrifying experience, we are holding off on doing a lot of expeditions out there until it's safer for us to, run through the woods in the middle of the night and not get bitten by a rattlesnake because that would have killed both of us. So we're trying not to die.
Shane Morton, recent subscriber, found you on Small Town Monsters. Welcome to the channel. And speaking of which, while you're out subscribing, if you like this particular blend of Southern Appalachian weirdness, check out our boy South Force 10.
Yeah.
He has, and it's weird because before we even became friends with him, I've mentioned his stuff on the channel before because I was just going, a lot of the stuff that he would talk about as far as the Smoky Mountain National Forest or National Park. What is it, a park or a forest? What is it officially?
What?
Smoky Mountain National Park is what it is?
Yeah, it's a national park.
And then there's a national forest inside of it though, right? Or is it just one thing? I don't know.
It's a national park. So it's Great Smoky
But
Mountain.
isn't there a national part that's considered the national forest inside the national park?
Not inside. Well, there's a national forest. There's several national forests that kind of are south of it,
You guys know what I'm talking about. But a lot of the stuff that he was sharing as far as the feral people on there, we had heard other stories separate from him that backed that up. And he knew a lot more about it than what we did. But when we stumbled across him and he was telling those stories about locals assisting with cleaning out feral people in those areas. I was just going, that's what we heard about. Oh my Lord.
Which is not, that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Oh, definitely.
Slightest.
It's when people go, if people don't just go, that makes a lot of sense.
Did you pull up the Depressionist?
What's that now?
The Depressionist.
Depressionist.
Congrats on 25K. One. Right for the LiDAR drone. Any chance you make a video about the infamous but entertaining human factor you encounter on investigations?
It's actually a pretty good idea. Jot that down.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And we have some of that in our Brown Mountain Lights footage.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm still working on that too.
We got to figure out how we're going to release it. I don't even know how we're going to do it. So
yeah, I don't know. I think I marked some other stuff too. I'll go back up here, or you can.
I'll get it. So
You got it.
I think Mark Bridges. This is actually, thank you again, Mark, for all the great questions and the super chats there tonight. We greatly appreciate it. Is Dogman spiritual or physical or both? I think everybody's opinion's still evolving on this. I think a lot of us are, not all of us, I can't speak for everybody, but I think a lot of us are starting to get towards the point where we think that there's a very good possibility that there are multiple things going on that are being lumped under the Dogman phenomenon. Some may be more, I don't think any of them are good. Okay, I'm totally like that. I don't think that any of them are good. I think the same thing could be said about the Sasquatch phenomenon as well, that there are multiple things that were lumped. What people seem to be experiencing in the Pacific Northwest as far as Bigfoot activity ain't nothing like what we experience here in the South as far as Bigfoot activity. And not nothing like. There's a great deal of differences. It seems to be darker. They seem to be smaller. They seem to be more aggressive. They seem to be more associated with weirdness here. And I think the Dogman phenomenon, I think there's a blend of things going on, some of which have been around for a long, long time and have coexisted with humanity, and some of them are more fairly recent. So I'm not trying to dodge your question. I think that's a way of just going all of the above at this point. All of the above. I think that there's some stuff going on that if we knew what it was, we'd be completely shocked because it's something that none of us have ever thought about before. But thank you.
I got some more on there if you want to.
Michael asked about any new areas we're looking forward to researching in the next few areas. The Southern Appalachians keep us busy. I'd like to get up to the Bridgewater Triangle area. We'd love to get out west, like Oklahoma. We'd love to go down into one of the places that keeps coming back to me right now is getting into the Dogman Triangle down there that Aaron Deese has been researching.
Yeah.
So
that would be amazing.
Probably right now, Bridgewater Triangle and getting into Texas. We are big stuff. Valley Parks, any recommendation on good trail cams?
We barely use them because we have no luck
Barely
with
use
them.
them, man. You used to be able to get decent trail cams. They weren't cheap, but they were pretty inexpensive. But even like crappy trail cams are expensive as hell right now. And to be honest with you, we had 5. We're down to 3 working trail cams right now. Damn. Yeah, we're down to 3 working trail cams. One is more expensive and the other 2 are cheaper. Or am I flip-flopping that? You can see how often we use them. And I can't see any difference in them at all at that point. So it depends on what you want to spend. I don't use them enough to really be able to give you a good recommendation on them. I found that the less expensive ones work just as good as the more expensive ones in my experience. And now I'm not trying to sell the areas that we're in. Usually there's no cell signal, so I don't really worry about ones that I can check with my phone. I'm just using standard ones that we can kind of just get footage from later. So yeah.
There's some more on there. Darcy Parks,
thank you for that.
Thank you, Darcy Parks.
The VIP of the show. Thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate it. So that will go towards, I went through this past week, and one of the things that we always are frustrated with is how shaky the footage is sometimes. And now keep in mind, I carry a tripod with the camera that I'm usually filming off of. And then when we use GoPros or the Phasms, we've got handles for them, but that's okay. But the thermal image has always driven us up the wall. And
of course, that's always me.
When we were in the LBL with Mark Newell and like Alex Petikoff, Mark had his thermal on like a hiking stack mounted, and he was using like a little monopod. And we toyed with that. But the areas we go through sometimes to go through them are so thick, it was catching on stuff and it just really wasn't workable. So I went through and got everything hooked on quick release plates this past week. We're in the process of doing that. Everything's going on quick release plates. And then Jesse's stick, I've got one, but I rarely use it, but I've got my tripod. Thermals, cameras, everything are going to be on quick release plates. So now the thermal footage will hopefully be a lot steadier. It'll be good.
It's rolling so fast. And then we've got.
Thank you,
stuff like
Corinne.
that.
Glad to be here this evening and chatting with my Hellbound heroes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You make me blush. So,
All right.
what were you pointing out?
Oh no, I was just telling you to go down in there. I just marked a bunch here.
You got a bunch of them here.
There's Suji had one. You want to get that one? I'm trying to
Suji.
catch up.
What are you going to school for, Jesse? What are you going to school for?
Photography. So I'm taking some photography courses so that I can improve my usage of my camera equipment and my filmmaking stuff. So I'm getting some formalized training and all of that to hopefully get better. Because right now I'm just going off of teaching myself everything. And I think formalized training at the school is going to be beneficial. So hopefully after I complete that, everything starts to get better and look better. So,
Boy, Hawk, thank you, buddy. First annual Bigfoot conference in Indiana, September 27th.
Cool.
I don't think we'd be able to make it that quick.
I've never been to Indiana, I gotta say.
What do we have going on in September? Anything?
Lenny.
Take Lenny with us.
We're not loading Lenny up. There's
Hawk, are you going?
There's no hot dogs up there.
There's no. So, a couple other good questions in here.
This is very sweet. I'm going to put this one up here. Sophia Hightower says, Joe and Jesse, I love you guys. Always because you make me happy when I feel low. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's
very mean.
That's very touching.
That's very touching. Thank you.
Thank you.
The whole purpose of this was not to, the whole purpose of Hellbent Holler having videos and stuff up was not supposed to be for self-aggrandize. It wasn't to like be like, oh, look how cool we are.
Not just for Joe to hear what a good job he does all the time.
A big chunk of that. But anyway, a lot of this was when we first put like a video up on a whim, people were saying, wow, this is so cool. I enjoyed this. I felt like I was there and I can't go do this myself. And that was like a big part of why Jesse kind of really went gung-ho into this. I mean, the investigations are going to happen whether we do YouTube or not. Mm-hmm. And if you doubt that, spend 10 minutes with us, come to our house and look at it. We don't really do a lot. Like I said, Jesse's going to school for something to further the Hellbent Holler project. Everything we do is pretty much to further the investigations and being able to share them with people. So it means a lot that people enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
I just want to bring some joy and kind of an escape too, kind
of make it fun again, man. That's the other thing too, that just this is such a cool topic that people have gone out of their way to make unenjoyable and just people to dodge it because of all the bull crap that goes along with it. It's a cool topic.
Or they get out of it because they just have been worn down to the point.
Yeah, that's the thing too. You just see people get to the point where they just go, I can't do it anymore because of the people aspect of it. So we want to try to make it cool and do it. This is a good one. Hair Force One. Are you ever hesitant presenting evidence you collect, or do you keep the best stuff close to your vest?
I'm excited to share evidence with everybody. I'm super excited. Sometimes I don't know how to present some of it, so there's a little bit of a delay between when we get it and when I package it to be presented to everybody in a video. And then there's instances like the Manor where we cannot share a lot of that stuff on this platform. So it's kind of a mixed bag, but we don't have any like smoking gun that's hidden back.
The only thing we've ever really kind of had second thoughts on is when we're the real intangible stuff. Like when we're in an area and we didn't get like any vocalizations, we didn't see anything on thermal, nothing tangible, but the feeling of it's so weird, and the weird little synchronicities and the weird little things like that. Sometimes that doesn't translate well. It's like you got to be there type thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're like, if we put this up, people are just going to go, oh, they're imagining things.
So boring.
The only thing we don't really, that I keep close to my vest nowadays is, and this is all me, and if you think it's petty,
I can't wait to hear this.
Knock yourself out. Think it's petty. I am not as sharing with our techniques and our equipment as I used to be.
Yeah.
I used to really go out of my way to do that. And if you think I'm petty, it probably is a little petty. I don't care. Maybe I'm a little petty. What's the word I'm looking for?
Okay. So
no, hold on. I'll do this because I don't want you to be the bad guy here because it's me. The people thought that they were do that we owed them telling them what we did, and that we were catching so much grief. I've made allusions to this in the past, but we've literally had people say, "Oh, they're not real Bigfoot hunters," and then reach out to me a couple weeks later to find out how I built a long duration audio recorder that'll run for 30 days straight.
Yeah, that's
after telling me that, after saying, "Oh, they're not real," being, you know, kind of snide about us, and then I'm going, "You're the real Bigfoot hunter. Figure it out for yourself." You know, you have the whole internet in front of you, much like I do. Spend a bunch of money constantly trying to refine it until it works, and do it.
Sleepless nights.
Yeah, you know, stay up. You wake up at 3 a.m. and have her go, "Where are you going to?" "I got to do this while it's on my mind." You know, do that, and then eventually you get it to work. So that was part of it, was the fact that it was kind of just, I got tired of that happening, because that happened once that really stuck in my craw, but a couple of times after that. And then also people would be very demanding about it. And I'd be like, "I haven't figured this out myself yet." "Well, you need to, you owe it to the community. Owe it to the community." And I'm going, the community ain't, you know, I don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? You've just reached out to me and not even a, "Hi, Joe, my name is so-and-so. It's, I heard you did this. How are you doing it?" And I'm going, pretty freaking rude. I can't stand rude people. We're not rude. You know, I'm pretty nice to people.
We're great.
Yeah, I'm pretty damn awesome if you get right down to it. Humble, not rude. Good looking. But so I'm not as open with that as I used to be. And I am not as, the other thing too is that we're pretty esoteric in some of the stuff we do. We get kind of out there, especially with some of the theories we have and some of the testing that we try to do. And I would have this really cool, neat, awesome, unique idea, and I would share it with people, and then they would butcher it. And I've gone, "You've now made it harder for me to present it to the public and have it taken seriously, because
they hear your mush mouth nonsense."
Yeah. So I stopped, but I'll be honest with you, most of it is because of the demanding nature of people that I didn't know.
Or
now people that I do know, and there's a back and forth of information going, do it all day long. You know what I'm saying? If Hawk got in touch with me tonight going, "Tell me how you are doing this," not that he needs my advice, I would just go, "Absolutely, man." You know, but people that I don't know, they're demanding, I'm not as quick to offer my little bits of genius that I have. So there you go.
Pearls before swine.
Pearls before swine, good sir.
Or Joe will put together a really cool rig that, you know, a lot of trial and error goes into some of these setups.
A lot of trial and error goes into
like a lot of trial and error, a lot of putting stuff together, ordering stuff.
I'm looking at a cabinet right now
of parts
filled with parts and cables and little gizmos that I thought would work and didn't, and I put them back away in case something comes up where they will work.
He will spend a lot of time doing this and trial and error doing this, and finally get something that's workable for field investigations, and then somebody will copy that and be like, "Yes, I came up with this.
This is something I've been working on.
This is something that I came up with a long time ago." And
what?
You know,
somebody's donation comment got deleted?
No. It's here. It was Darcy Parks. It was
Darcy Parks. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Kim's on her phone. So she hit the button. Calm down.
So, somebody had asked about a locator beacons. Jesse carries a locator beacon.
Yeah, I have a Garmin InReach Mini.
Jump a jam. The thing that freaks me out the most are the reports of Sasquatch wearing skull masks. You and me both.
Yeah.
And I wish to Cryptid Response, if he's still on here, he can chime in with this. He's who we talked to that person through. He was the person who was the lead on all that. And then other people have mentioned the same thing to us. We've heard it from independent sources now 3 times now.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. Is it a Sasquatch even? Because they're, other than being hairy, they moved like crackheads. Remember, it made them sick to look. The way they moved made me sick to look at them. What do you mean it made it? They just moved too fast until it was just sickening to look at. I'm going, what the hell is that? It's just like that thing that guy saw near the Grove. He can't get it out of his head. Mm-hmm. There's a witness who...
It's kind of ruined his life in a way.
In the Grove, we have had several reports of hunters. We just got a new one about in the past 2 weeks. We're talking to the gentleman. Hunters being chased, bow hunters being chased out of this area by aggressive activity.
Yeah.
And weird stuff that you would go, damn, that sounds like Fey activity. What the hell? Well, one guy had a roadside sighting. He saw one leaning against the side of a tree as he was driving by. It's all it was. In a moving vehicle, at a distance. He saw it it's like wrecked his life. He's like, I can't get it out of my head, not in a good way. Like, it's like living in his head now. The thought of it is living in his head. It's like it's invaded. It's like a mind worm that's gone into him at this point. He's suffering from like PTSD, and all it was seeing it driving by. That ain't undiscovered ape, man. Undiscovered apes don't do that. You know,
he's dealing with that mind worm.
Something more.
We're dealing with this butt worm here in chat.
What's butt worm got for us?
Butt worm ain't got anything for us.
Oh, okay. Well.
Don't let us down, butt worm. If I do that thing where I don't use these clips, but StreamYard has a feature where it'll whip up like a clip from the stream, and it'll just pick like some moment during the stream and like make a clip.
And it's going to be butt worm.
It's going to be just us talking about butt worm the entire time.
Kaiju Ninja, do you think bringing in a Dogman body skeleton or capturing one would ever be possible? Or finding something physical? I think the aspects of the phenomenon that are purely physical, you would never bring in a body or a skeleton on. I think the majority of what people experience when they bring it in, that there's no, I don't think it's possible. I think it's I don't know if it's possible with Bigfoot, but I'm leaning very heavily towards it not being possible with Dogman. So.
And we're going to come up on the hour here, kids.
We'll go past it. Let me catch up with the chat.
Yeah, we'll catch up with the chat. I'm just letting you know. Just slow down.
Hawk ain't going. Always scheduling things when I work. Dang it. Forrest has got, please consider Southern Indiana for a visit. Just outside Bloomington is where I witnessed the old hairy big boy along with 6 others. Did you? Oh, okay, you were with 6 people. I thought you 7 big feets. Big feetses. So, all right, I'm going to catch up on chat and then we're going to call it.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up on some of these here. All right, there we go. All right.
Skater, first time to the channel. Welcome to the channel, Skater. Jay Myers had said, I'm not petty. No, I play really well with others. I love collaborating with people and exchanging ideas with people and stuff like that. We've gotten tricks of the trade off of Alex Petikoff, and we hooked Alex Petikoff up with the idea of carrying those chest rigs. It's just that when I don't know people and they are very demanding and very entitled to the fruits of my labor, that's really got under my skin. I can't abide like rude people like that. So
Hannibal Lecter thought that you should eat the rude.
Yeah.
So there's that. Jesus, I'm so like trying to catch up on this. This is.
Give me your secrets, tech boy.
I laughed. I lolled.
I lolled.
Oh, here we go. Here's one. Vincent Ellison says, we need merch.
We would love to have a merch store, and because we could use the funds, but we just don't have the time.
We do have
Again, remember, we're good at the spending money part. We ain't good at the making money part.
We do have Stitch Witch is working on hats for us. So we have a hat order in process. We also have T-shirts that are supposed to be headed our way with big T-shirt order. So that will be that. And then someone was asking, Marina was messaging me about the glasses. I'm going to see about the glasses situation because we have these pint glasses, like beer glasses. I think we're out of them now, but we had a bunch of them. But I'm going to see about getting some of those, maybe a couple other things. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, it's in process. It's in process. It's all.
Kaiju Ninja, have you gone out looking for missing people? Not in this area. I used to do that when I lived closer to the Appalachian Trail. What'd you do, search and rescue? Jesse's actually finishing up SAR training. Actually, lost person behavior should be on our reading list.
If we had a master.
Lost person behavior is a
reading list.
Is a guide that search and rescue really goes into, like the fundamentals of looking for missing people. And I've always recommend that to people who talk about mysterious disappearances. Read lost person behavior, and you can see what's mysterious and what ain't. So, all right.
I'm trying to catch up.
I'm almost caught
to
up.
the
We're
bottom.
catching up here.
Yep. And then I need a
Todd, pop into the Discord and I'll tell you. Pop into our Discord tomorrow. I might get into it tonight, but we're actually changing some of our camera tech stuff. So.
Yeah. We've never used a DJI camera though.
Never used a DJI. We use like weird knockoff.
GoPro.
We used like
stuff.
Picassos when we first started off, and we were just scraping stuff together. And we actually looked at one of our first videos the other day, and we were like, "Oh my god, the footage terrible." we had a used. I got it off Amazon Warehouse. A used, no name, just Chinese knockoff camcorder that was supposed to be in 4K. It's like
definitely not
740, something like that. But
it was like cave painting K.
Oh yeah, I was like, yeah. So the batteries were just constantly drained, and then we got some knockoff GoPros from Picasso, and we thought that was just the coolest thing ever. So
look at us now.
Truth Walker wants to know if you guys had any new developments. Those weird voice recordings from a while back. No, but we have yet to debunk them. We have yet to recreate what we caught. Truth Walker is talking about some weird sounds that we picked up on a drop recorder. And I tried to run it through Audacity and everything like that. And you could tell something was there, and it almost sounded like speech, but you just couldn't clean it up enough in Audacity. And Jessie had some tools with one of the programs that she used, and there was a speech enhancer that basically it's not an AI thing. It doesn't fill anything in. It doesn't go, there should be a consonant here, so I'm going to throw a consonant in. All it does is it identifies the patterns of speech. It minimizes everything but them, and then enhances that, like brings that up.
Yeah, so if you have like audio of like a river, it's not going to create words out of the flowing water.
And when you ran it through that, what I thought I heard was there. And it sounded like robotic Sierra sounds. Is that a good description?
Yeah.
Weirdest damn thing ever. We played it on members live for people just to get their opinions on it. It was crazy. Mark Bridge is all over the place. Theory of portals in the LBL. What are your thoughts? If you have never heard what Martin Groves and Daryl Denton experienced, give it a listen. It's out there. It's in some of the small town monster stuff that they basically experienced something coming out of a portal that made them both sick and made Martin real sick. And I've got a theory on why it hit Martin harder than Daryl that I'll talk to him about one-on-one first before I share it publicly. But yes, I think that what you consider portals, thin places, window areas, one reality bleeding over into another, I think that's everywhere. But certain areas, these liminal spaces, it happens more often. Moondog, they wear deer scales back into the
mods are not posting the Discord link because it's for members only.
Yeah, don't post the Discord link. That's
it's a members only thing. Sorry.
Let's see what we got here. We're almost caught up here.
Yes, and I'm about to make some dinner and run to the restroom.
So, guys, I'm gonna just babble as I finish up with the chat here. I was up in the LBL turkey hunting this year with two friends. Two of us saw some crazy things in the woods. I saw a shadow figure, and he saw something like a ghost. Long story, but that is the first time. Did your shadow figure have really long, gangly limbs?
Strange proportions.
And was it very quick and graceful and just seemed like it glided? But you're going, how did that move like that? How did that move like that? What I saw was gawky and like awkward, and it just, and it just glided like it was on ice. It was the craziest thing ever. Please tell me if that is what you saw. If it's not what you saw, that's cool. But if that's what you saw, I would love to hear about it, because Hawk, our boy Hawk, sent me verification that I haven't showed you. And Hawk and I talk about a lot of random stuff, and he had sent it to me, and then we got on another topic and I forgot all about it. He resent it, but it's somebody saying they saw the exact same thing that we saw there.
Just curious said, really appreciate y'all taking us with you. Love the outdoors and the cryptid subject. My reality, though, has a halted further physical pursuit of the cryptid subject, living vicariously through you guys. Thank you, Just Curious, for being a member and that comment. That's kind of what we want to do. That's what we want to do. We want to bring you guys along with us. We go crazy, so you don't have to.
Yeah. It's awkward like a patch. Does anybody have any interest in patches? Stitch Witch makes like patches.
Yeah.
I don't have mine anymore. She gave us like a couple samples, but
I like the way your voice was. I don't have mine anymore.
I don't have mine. I sent mine to be on somebody's patch, on somebody's vest there, man. So,
all right. We're going to wrap it up in a second.
Way of the Sploot. I made some stretch bracelets with different stones. Would you like some from members?
Perhaps.
Reach out to Jesse for that. Yes.
We like your work.
So. Your work accompanies us into certain areas.
It does, for sure.
It just doesn't. Yeah. Your work accompanies us in certain areas. Some areas we can't wear anything like that because we want it to come close, but other areas we're like, let's take a little something with this stuff. All right, guys, we're wrapping it up here. We are so grateful to everybody here. Like I said, without resorting to like usual, like YouTube shenanigans or Jesse putting me in a thong, we've managed to.
I'm not above it.
Not above it. Hey, guess what? 2025, if we need a big push, that's when we're going to go. You're going to walk in, you're going to go. It's time, Joe.
And you're going to pull it out, whip it.
It's my moment to shine. I've been waiting for this.
I've been waiting for this.
But we've managed to get, we've managed to do pretty well. The whole goal of this is the more exposure we get, the more we get chances of somebody coming up to us and going, I was in the LBL and I witnessed this and I'd like you to know about it. And there's value.
The further that this stretches out, the further that this goes, the more people it touches, the more people that can come and tell us these stories.
And another little piece of the puzzle.
Yep. We can place that in there.
Yep.
Banana Hammock Joe.
I will answer this real quick. Do you agree that ultimately only a body will confirm the creature's existence?
Joe the Jiggler.
If it's what I think I'm currently leaning towards any of this stuff being, a body will never see the light of day.
Yeah.
That if you, through some chance, happen to kill one, it's never going to see the light of day. It's never going to see the light of day. If you get it up onto social media, it's going to be labeled as a hoax and the cover-up machine is going to go into place. If the body itself ain't going to last, and you'll be lucky to get out of it without being charged for killing an exotic animal, because that body will be whisked away and a rare silverback gorilla or something like that will be laid on your doorstep dead. I don't think, if it's what I think it is right now, and I don't care how it is, you could Facebook Live it to 1 million people. And within 24 hours, you would be thoroughly discredited. There would be AI videos up, just changed just enough to make it look like the fakest thing imaginable. And it just, so that's where I'm at with that. I think that's where I'm at with that. I hope I'm wrong, but that's where I'm at. All right, folks, we're wrapping it up. Y'all are flat out amazing. Thank you all so much.
Thank you guys for 25,000 subscribers. Well, we're over that now. We're sailing beyond it now.
1 second, Skeeter.
To the moon, baby.
It went behind a tree and disappeared. It was on my right side. It moved very smoothly. I started texting my buddies, freaking out. Skeeter, roll the Gmail thing for Skeeter if he's still on there. We're insanely behind on emails as always. I ain't ever catching up. Catching up. But if you could email us,
that would be awesome.
We would love to hear from you. Love to hear from you. And folks,
you know that Kim is on her phone. Jim and Jesse. Kim's on her phone today.
Jim.
Yeah, Yeah, I tried typing something the other day on my phone. And I was
Hawk,
like, oh,
I
that's
got something. Do you
completely
guys
wrong.
carry gemstones for protections? We have some things that we have the Sploot made us that
Every now and then we
that'll
will,
be
yes.
taken with us. A lot of times you can't carry protection because the whole idea, well, spiritual protection, because the idea is to bring this stuff in so we can document it. Hence my leaving that holy water in my backpack and us going, this is it. We're never going to experience anything strange ever again. It's been a long time. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my Lord, I've had holy water in my backpack this whole time. Wonder what'll happen when I take it out and we go out and the floodgates open.
Yeah.
So, but we do that. We've got a couple things that Sploot was kind enough to send us.
Mhm.
So, all right. I'm just going down through and making sure. All right, guys.
Nutslap says, I am a gemstone. Nothing else needed.
We carried Nutslap with us.
Just in a little jar.
I ride on his back like Master Blaster.
Oh,
Carries me through the woods.
That's
Anyway,
cute.
we appreciate it, guys. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you all for your support now and over the past year. And
Over the past 4 years. We've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years.
Last year is when it's really kicked into like high gear, though.
Well, we finally decided to let our terrible personalities show.
We really hit our stride. So.
We really hit our stride. But I want to thank you guys, honestly, for being a part of this whole project. And, you know, you guys show up. You guys that show up every week and have these great conversations with us. You watch all the videos. You input amazing stuff. You guys have so many great suggestions and propose so many great ideas. I think we have the best chat on the subject on YouTube for sure, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
By such orders of magnitude.
But we couldn't do this without you guys for sure. So thank you from two humble
extremely humble
cryptid investigators. We want to thank you guys for helping us get to that milestone. And we're going to go on from here. Joe and I are not going to stop doing this.
Won't stop.
Joe and I are constantly getting better at what we do and working at it. So we're on the ground floor of greatness. How's that sound?
Cut it. Just end on that note. Thank you, guys.
Oh, goodbye, guys. Thank you. I'm going to put on some music for them. You didn't like that?
Hellbent Humbles.
Just kidding. We're back.
Knife check.
Okay.
Have an RP Knives Forged Hunter. We didn't do a knife check on our 25,000 subscribers.
I know, and people asked for it. We were just going. We were
just going. So it has got, I don't even know what wood that is. It looks like a peacock's tail. I love it. I love this damn knife. I love this damn knife. It's one of these knives that I don't carry out because I love the damn thing so much.
I also have an RP Knives knife. My knives are always, we have similar knives from similar makers, or we have the same maker here, but I always have a small version. And
yours is bog.
It's Russian bogwood.
It's Russian bogwood.
It's ancient Russian bogwood. So what do you think about that?
There you go.
That's pretty dope.
But these are like our fancy blades. These are handmade. I think I've carried this out with me once. I just love it so much. I'm always just like, God, if I lose it or something, I love the damn thing. All right, that's it. Now we're going.
All right, now we're really going to go. I'm going to make some dinner. But thank you guys. You guys are awesome. We love you. Oh, yeah. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Hellbenders, out.